everyone, just James, okay, bringing you yet another video. Oh my god, you guys, it's time for yet another doll custom video. Now, I did a poll on my channel recently, asked you guys which doll you'd like to see next. The options were Wonder Woman, Jem and the Holograms, or Storm from the X-Men. Well, Jem won out by a landslide, so our next video is
Ooh, Jem.
Yes, the queen of pop herself from the 80s, Miss Jem and the Holograms. Now, Jem, or Jerrica as she's known outside of her persona. Now, Jem, for those of you who don't know, is a fabulous pop star who, by day, is actually a girl whose father owns a record label. She has like a magical computer that grants her wishes. It creates like this beautiful like pop star. Okay, that's me totally just like glossing over all of it. It's actually a pretty detailed backstory, but let's get into it. So, now the creation of Jem and the Holograms could seem a little muddy at first when you hear it. It was essentially created to sell toys. Hasbro wanted to market to girls, and they wanted a product that girls could not say no to. And it came in the form of Jem. And she was a fantastic, fabulous, truly outrageous pop star. Again, like hair metal, 80s music, pop stars. This was all like things people were obsessed with. It was the height of MTV. Of course, they're going to capitalize this. This is actually America's take on like the magical girl trope, which is very popular in Japan. So America did its big one with this in the 80s. Now, the animation was nowhere near as good as many animes and overseas were, but Western attempts were nothing to sneeze at because their main goal in mind was selling toys. Whether or not they were successful at that goal is kind of up for debate. The Jem dolls were not very successful when they were released, but it's also because there was yet another doll company doing their big one when they heard Hasbro had this idea. Not to be outdone, Mattel actually released Barbie and the Rockers months before Jem was actually finished and ready for markets. Totally blowing their competition out of the water. It's one of those great examples of like basically cutting your competition off at the knees. Barbie truly showed Hasbro who's who when it comes to the doll world. Not to mention the Jem dolls, they have a beloved fan base and people who are truly obsessed with them. I'm not one of them. I never thought the dolls were that appealing, but I can understand why people have their nostalgia for them because they're gigantic. The dolls are huge. They're similar to like the Cher dolls from the 1970s or like the Diana Ross or Wonder Woman or Bionic Woman. They have a very action figure-esque quality to them. You can tell Hasbro didn't really quite have a handle on how to create fashion dolls. They're definitely a toy action figure kind of company. So the idea of a fashion doll didn't really necessarily translate. Although Jem, I will say for the most part, almost every fashion she wore in the show was released as a fashion pack for Jem. And there is almost every character made. It is truly impressive. But let's walk through our process of making the Jem doll. Now, when it comes to doing Jem, I'm using the Classique body from James Mansfield Beauty. I love this doll. It's going to become my signature as far as custom dolls goes, unless I have to do something else. But for the most part, this is my style, so get into it. I hope you enjoy it. Now, I used the Classique body. I did not have to make any custom molds to this doll, which I was very happy with. I could literally just print a doll and make her as was. I wanted to simplify the process a little bit more because there's a few other projects that will require me to custom make things. So this one I'm very happy about. I did not have to custom make anything until it came to the hair. So first things first, I was going to worry about everything else that I could control. Now I was going to try and be that girl. I tried to sew again. I tried to draft a pattern of this outfit and it ended up being a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. I actually made a mock-up and the mock-up did not fit the doll whatsoever. So I had to scrap it entirely. So sadly, this beautiful pink fabric was not going to be used. But as luck would have it, they actually have released a brand new Jem doll onto the market. I believe it's a Walmart exclusive, so I called up my bestie Hexton, and I asked if she had any reason to go to Walmart. So we drove over there, and lo and behold, there was one doll left in stock. I snatched her up and paid for it and grabbed some extra pink yarn just in case. I now have this very new Jem doll, which is actually very useful for me because, as you noticed for my Sailor Moon doll, if I can get an outfit already pre-done, I'm going to go for it. But the one downside is this doll is huge. Its proportions are also very strange. Like her breasts are almost under her armpits. I was like, who is this doll for? Like, it's got a very unflattering body. It's very dumpy and very stumpy in various areas. Again, it's similar to the Hasbro situation where I question if this company has ever made fashion dolls before because there's lots of rookie mistakes that are being made here that I just could not handle. Like as soon as I took the dress off the doll because I was going to repurpose the dress, the fabric is staining the doll. Like there's pink marks all over the doll's arms and everything. It's like, damn. Like, it hasn't even been out for that long. It's already stained the doll. That's crazy. Not to mention, like, the feature the doll had originally in the 1980s was you could tuck some of her hair up and Jem would have blonde hair to be Jerrica, and they gave you an extra outfit. Well, they did that with this doll. Like, I have the extra Jerrica outfit. This is the Jerrica outfit, and it is very, very well made. Now, on the Barbie-sized body that I have, it's gonna be very matronly. Like, it's more form-fitted on the Jem doll that I have. And I love that it gave you the hat and everything. So if I actually want to make Jerrica down the line, which if you want to see that, let me know. I have the outfit for it. But I must say, I was not loving the quality of this doll. Like, her head is very small for her body. But again, this isn't about her. It's about my doll. So I took the dress and I knew I had to fit it, and I actually had to take it in quite a bit. I had to take it in on the sides, and I also had to shorten it because on her, it was almost like it cut right above the knee. They're like, Jem is supposed to be like this sexy pop star, so we have to definitely dress her up a little bit more. We have to make it more glamorous, just make it more truly outrageous. So I had to shorten the dress and give it a nice asymmetrical slit because that also did not come through on this. If you look at the original doll from the 80s, there was no stone left unturned. Like, they made sure this doll looked like the freaking cartoon. Not so much this situation, like the color's a bit off and the fitting is way off. The only thing I really thought was kind of cute was the belt. The belt is very well made and it's also reversible. So we took the dress in and fitted it on the doll. It comes time to do our painting. So painting the doll was actually a lot of fun. Now, I knew I only had to do a few things for this. Like, I just had to paint her nails and paint her heels, and the body in itself is done. The face up was another story. So the face up, I wanted to honor the cartoon onto the doll and not just take the Build Billy route and be lazy and just be done. I wanted to actually do my best to get as close to how the cartoon would look on my doll as possible. So we gave her blue eyes with some black irises and some white catch lights, as well as her pink lipstick. And we also had to do her eyeshadow. Now, Jem has very specific eyeshadows, which are 2 pink triangles on her eyes like this. It's very glam rock. It definitely sticks out. You know immediately who this character is when you see it. So I had to make sure I honored that. I also used a little bit of chalk pastel above the triangle here in the eyebrow line to give it a little more like eyeshadow look. So it's not like 2 stark triangles like she's the ultimate warrior. We didn't want that, okay? It had to like glam rock makeup, and I feel like we achieved that. Now, the hair was also another thing I was not looking forward to taking on, but it actually ended up being a lot more fun than I thought it was going to be. I had to make wefts upon wefts upon wefts of this pink yarn. I just made more than I actually needed, and it ended up being just enough. Like, I had a huge pile like that of pink wefts that I had to use a flat iron for and straighten out and everything just so I could style this hair. Styling the hair is also very, very important. So when it comes to making these 80s hairstyles, Jem has sort of what I call like a fashion mullet, where it's a very, very pretty feminized mullet. Short up top, party in the back, lots of length. Now, I didn't want to make the hair too short. I actually want to make her a little longer because I thought it'd be a lot more glamorous and just more flattering for my doll. This is my own take. You don't have to do this to get that Jem look, but I wanted her to have longer hair. Also, if you watch the show, Jem's hair is completely inconsistent because, again, with cartoons in the 80s, they weren't really paying attention to shit like that. They had a tight deadline. It was a low budget. You're getting what you're going to get. Some frames, her hair is longer than others. I trimmed the hair. I gave her a haircut. I glued it onto the cap. I watched a lot of video essays getting this one done, folks. After styling, hairspraying, and getting as much volume as I can in this hair, which I actually got a lot of volume without having to put any teasing into it. Like, her hair is just this big on its own. The doll is painted, her outfit is made, and her hair is done. It's time to take a look at the final result. Da, 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 da. Here we are. She is Miss Jem from Jem and the Holograms. Oh my God. Now, I have to say, I'm so pleased with how she came out. Like, she is so 80s. She is so fun. I mopped all the accessories from this toy. Like, she has her microphone right here from the reproduction doll. The dress has been fitted. The belt is cute. I also had to trim the belt. But what I did with the belt was actually kind of sickening. I'll show you. You can kind of see in the back. All I did was fold it up in the back a little bit. Like, fold it and then glue it so that it became shorter instead of having to sew it and miss out on that reversible feature, because that should be something we can keep. The reversible feature, in case I want to make Jerrica, is still there. I wanted to make sure we didn't ruin the belt entirely. But yeah, I love the face up on her. I think she came out so cute. And it is definitely giving that Gem and the Holograms flair that she is known for. She's truly outrageous, okay? Now, which version of the Gem song is your favorite? Did you like the original Gem theme song or did you like the later one, the
Truly outrageous?
Gem is one of those characters that has lived on in pop culture for a good reason. She's very fun. And she had a great message of just following your dreams and helping others out. Because again, she also ran an orphanage in her spare time. Like, it's a very interesting take on like the pop stardom as far as like a very bizarre children's cartoon that got very popular and still has lots of fans that are obsessed with it. It's our American magical girl. You gotta recognize that, okay? I feel like she is getting full-on 80s glam rock glamour. What do you guys think? And what cartoon character would you like to see next? I saw some people really wanting to see Storm, and I can tell you, she is coming, okay? But other than that, what are some great characters you'd like to see? I love making these dolls. I've really been finding my spot in the doll realm, making these customs. I feel like I'm really getting a hang of it. I'm so excited for you guys to see what other work I have down the pipeline. But this has been Gem. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, remember, dolls are fun and dolls are for everyone. All right, take care of yourselves. Bye!